Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matthew Shipe with the Shipe Sports Talk Show with your weekly update number 2. Remember, you can follow us at Shipe Sports Talk on Twitter, Facebook/Shipe Sports Talk. You can also watch us every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. live on YouTube. Search us on YouTube as Shipe Sports Talk, and you join us in a chat room. Ask us comments, give us your questions and everything, and also give us a rating. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher. On iTunes, you can give us a nice rating, comment, let us know what you think about the show. We greatly appreciate it. Today, right now, I'm going to talk about the AFC and NFC Championship games real quick. We'll get more in depth into it during the show this Thursday with my co-hosts Chris Cordova and David the Coach Shipe, as well as my producer Paul. The Super Bowl matchup is set. We're going to have the Denver Broncos against the Carolina Panthers, and this is going to be a very great Super Bowl. It's going to be two defensive defensive teams. We have the Broncos, who just decimated Tom Brady this week. I mean, they were in Brady's face almost every play, putting pressure on him, knocking him down. Really took Brady out of his game. Really took him out of it. You saw, when he's under pressure, the balls he threw were just horrible towards the end. That last drive. Obviously Gronk got the touchdown. He made a great play, but just the throws before that when he was under pressure were horrible. Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware were just getting after him all day. The defensive backs weren't helping out Tom either, as they were just all over Edelman. Gronk, obviously, it's so hard to cover Gronk. But, I mean, even him, he was having trouble during certain plays. Amendola couldn't get going. They tried to exploit James White a little bit, but he just couldn't seem to catch the ball that well. The run game for the Patriots, it shows, when you're a one-dimensional team, a team can concentrate on that, and that's what the Broncos did. They concentrated on the pass attack, and they just completely took them out of their game. On the other hand, also Brady threw 2 interceptions. On the other hand, for the Broncos, their offense was very well balanced between C.J. Anderson and Peyton Manning. The best thing about Peyton Manning the last 2 weeks is no interceptions. He's being secure with the ball, very Peyton Manning-like, better than what we saw at the beginning of the regular season where he was throwing interceptions 2, 3 a week. Now in the playoffs, no interceptions. He's not putting up the big yardage, but he's having very good ball security, which is what this team needed to advance in the playoffs, and that's what he's doing. The defense is playing great. C.J. Anderson, where was this during the regular season, buddy? I mean, fantasy owners that had you are probably going crazy that you're finally doing good. Emmanuel Sanders, Denarius Thomas, everyone's coming to play for this team. Sorry, I got a little scratch in the back of my neck there. But this, I mean, it's going to be a great. I'm so happy for Peyton Manning. If he wins Super Bowl, go off in the sunset, buddy. You're going to retire, a champion. Even if you don't win Super Bowl, you beat Brady again. It could be a good time to call your career quits, or you may want to come back again with this defense. Let's go to the other side, where once again the Carolina Panthers, the first half, did they just completely ended the game again by halftime. Once again. The difference in this game between Seattle was they didn't let Arizona come back. Carson Palmer had no answer for this defense. Cam Newton was running wild. You got Jonathan Stewart. Even Ted Ginn had a good run. And the passing attack for Carolina was great, but once again, Carolina has still been a little bit one-dimensional with the run, so we'll see what Denver does. Denver shut down the one-dimensional Patriots in the passing. We'll see if they can do the same thing to Carolina. I tell you what, it's going to be very different for Cam Newton. I don't think he's faced a linebacker core like Von Miller or like DeMarcus where he can get to him. Let's face it, the AFC South, they don't have very good defenses, so Cam's never really been tested with the kind of pass rush. I know Seattle got to him a little bit, in their divisional round matchup, but I feel, with Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware coming off the edges, and they just decimated Brady, so we'll see what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Like I said, we'll get more into that later throughout the week. These videos that I'm doing during the week are a little small, little 10-minute, 15-minute, if that clips to keep you updated on what's going on, what happened through the weekend. But I'm really intrigued with the Super Bowl match. I feel like it could be a low-scoring Super Bowl, or Carolina's offense could just come again, but it's going to be very interesting. I mean, we could see a 13-10 Super Bowl, or we could see a blowout and see a 35-10 or maybe a 35-31. Maybe the defenses don't come to play, so we'll see what happens. I'm very intrigued by it. I mean, it's just Arizona's defense just was not that good. It was not the same, so we'll see what happens. Local news this week, the Maryland Terrapins lost to Michigan State in their game. Unfortunate for Maryland. We were hoping they could rebound, maybe get a good, solid top 10 win, but they didn't. But this week they do face Iowa, who's in the top 10, so they're going to be facing back-to-back teams ranked. So Maryland needs to get back on track against Iowa. They have to beat this team to keep pace in this Big Ten, which turned out, Maryland they thought, maybe could run away a little bit with the way they were ranked, but now it's turned to a little couple team, matchup at the top. Indiana's still doing good. You got Iowa, Michigan State, so we'll see what happens with Maryland this week with Iowa and see if they struggle some more. Maryland football got a couple more recruits this week, a couple 3-stars, so we'll see, their football recruiting still get going, with the new coach, some of these young kids, want to see what this coach can do. So 2017-2018 class is really the one to look out for. Maryland, obviously I said last week you got Haskin who flipped, Jones, the linebacker, flipped to Ohio State. And they really, they came out and said a tribute to the coaching changes. So we'll see what happens with that with Maryland as they try to recruit for the 2017-2018 class. Washington national news is they were trying to get Justin Upton, didn't get him. Cephalus they were in the running for. It did not happen. He re-signed with the Mets. Report came out today that a lot of players are not interested in going to Washington. I don't know why. They're a contender. Maybe it's I don't think Harper's a bad guy to work with. Maybe you look at the way they did the Papillon scenario with how he choked out Harper and they kept him and traded Drew Storen. Maybe some players just don't feel good. So we'll see what happens with that. Redskins news, like we said on the show, all we're waiting for is when does RG3 get released and when does Kirk Cousins get his re-signed. Obviously, you can't lose Kirk Cousins with the season he had, so we'll have to see what happens with that. Just keep it going. The Wizards, they haven't played this weekend with the Blizzard in D.C. Same for the Capitals. They had 2 games. Anaheim, which they canceled 5 minutes before the puck drop. Not 5 minutes, I'm sorry, like 3 hours for the puck drop. That's really not smart on their part. You had people come in for the game who couldn't get home. They probably had to get a hotel. So really not good management on the Capitals, on it was them or the NHL, because, with a team in the West Coast, that's really hard to make up, unlike the Penguins where you could make that up since, they played them Sunday. They making that game up. It's a 4-hour trip rather than a 6-hour flight. So we'll see what happens with that. Wizards didn't play their game against the Jazz. They have the Celtics tonight. They have to get going. We're at the halfway point of the NBA season. So they really have to get going. Hopefully John Wall will make the All-Star. He should. So we'll see where we go with that. So basically that's all I have for you today. Like I said, you can watch this on YouTube at 6:30 on Thursday at Shipe Sports Talk. We'll get more into depth on the AFC and NFC Championship game and start previewing the Super Bowl. Now we have 2 weeks to preview this game because we got the Pro Bowl coming up, which you may want to watch, you may not. It's interesting now with the teams, they vote, or they have a draft with 2, Hall of Famers picking. So we'll see what, I like how it went last year. It's kind of cool. We'll see if the Nationals try to make any more splashes with any free agents, maybe try to get another outfielder they were trying. We'll see if the Wizards can get a run going, the Capitals keep their winning ways going. And so Thursday should be a pretty good show. We'll talk about the Maryland Terps basketball team some more and their game against Iowa. Hopefully they come out with a win. So like I said, you can follow us, as always, on Twitter at Shipe Sports Talk, Facebook /Shipe Sports Talk, Instagram Shipe Sports Talk. I have to get on that a little bit more. iTunes, Stitcher, please give us a rating, give us a comment. And also Thursday, just please join us in the chat room. We really would love it. We love to hear your comments. We love to interact with the fans. We love interacting with Facebook, on Twitter. So keep interacting with us. Keep telling us what you think about the show and keep watching Shipe Sports Talk. We all appreciate your updates. So thank you. Have a good day, and please stay safe out with the blizzards.